नमस्कार दोस्तों, केंद्रीय विद्यालय संगठन के प्रिंसिपल, टीचर्स और स्टूडेंट्स, आप सभी लोगों को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं विशेष भृगुवंशी, कैप्टन इंडियन मेंस बास्केटबॉल टीम। आज 29 अगस्त खेल दिवस, जो हमारे देश के महान खिलाड़ी, हॉकी के जादूगर मेजर ध्यानचंद जी के जन्मदिन के रूप में मनाया जाता है और उनकी याद में ही आज के दिन को हम खेल दिवस के रूप में मनाते हैं। मैं आप सभी लोगों से गुजारिश करना चाहता हूं कि आप सभी लोग खेलों से जुड़ें, और मैं आज आपको इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से खेलों के बारे में, खेल दिवस के बारे में आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि इनका क्या इफेक्ट है हमारे ऊपर, इनका क्या प्रभाव पड़ता है हमारे जीवन में। खेल हमारे जीवन का एक अहम हिस्सा होते हैं। खेलों के जरिए हम फिट रहते हैं, स्वस्थ रहते हैं। हम अगर स्वस्थ रहेंगे तो हमारा दिमाग भी स्वस्थ रहेगा। अगर हमारा दिमाग स्वस्थ है, हम स्वस्थ हैं, तो हमारे परिवार के बाकी लोगों को हम स्वस्थ रख सकते हैं, हमारे समाज को स्वस्थ रख सकते हैं। और यही एक जरिया है, खेल ही एक जरिया है जिसके थ्रू हमें कई नई चीज़ें सीखने को मिलती है, कई नए तरह के दोस्त मिलते हैं, कई नई तरह के, आप समझिए कि एक दूसरों के साथ हमारा जो संबंध है, दोस्ती यारी, कई तरह के, मतलब खेलों के जरिए मित्रता, और ये हर तरह का नया नया एक रोमांच आप कह सकते हैं। खेलों में नए नए तरह के रोमांच होते हैं, कई चीज़ें सीखने को मिलती हैं। सो मेरा बस यही आपसे एक गुजारिश है और एक कहना है कि आप लोग खेलों से जुड़ें, ग्राउंड स्पोर्ट्स में आए, खेलें। आज के जनरेशन में हमारी जो जनता है वो मोबाइल और मोबाइल गेमिंग्स और लैपटॉप गेमिंग्स में बहुत जा रही है, और लोगों को अपनी फिटनेस और इन चीज़ों का बहुत ज़्यादा ख्याल नहीं रह गया है। तो मैं आप सभी केंद्रीय विद्यालय के बच्चों से गुजारिश करूंगा कि आप लोग ग्राउंड स्पोर्ट्स में प्रतिभाग करें, क्रिकेट खेलें, फुटबॉल खेलें, बास्केटबॉल खेलें, कुछ भी खेलें, लेकिन एक गेम जरूर खेलें, और डेली 1 से 1.5 घंटा अपने खेल के ऊपर बिताएं और स्वस्थ रहें, अपने परिवार को भी स्वस्थ रखें। और मैं केंद्रीय विद्यालय संगठन का बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि आज इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से मैं केंद्रीय विद्यालय के बच्चों के साथ जुड़ा हूँ और अपने जीवन और खेलों के महत्व के बारे में लोगों को बता रहा हूं। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच। आप सभी लोगों को मेरा नमस्कार। और आप भारत सरकार के द्वारा जारी की गई मुहिम खेलो इंडिया, फिट इंडिया, इन सभी के जरिए भी खेलों से जुड़ सकते हैं और खेलों के बारे में जानकारी प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। सो दोस्तों, नमस्कार, जय हिंद।
Good morning, students, parents, teachers, and other staff members. During this corona pandemic, we are celebrating the National Sports Day. You are well aware of the fact that National Sports Day is celebrated on 29th August every year. It is the birthday of the legend Major Dhyanchand, one of the best sportsmen ever to have graced the game of hockey. Hockey always has a special place among Indians. Our generations sometimes look back with a sense of disbelief about the golden era of Indian hockey, when India won 3 Olympic gold medals in field of hockey in 1928, 1932 and 1936. The era was led by none other than Dhyanchand, who scored 33 goals in 12 matches. Major Dhyanchand was born in Allahabad to Someshwar Dutt Singh. He joined the Indian Army at the age of 16 and never played hockey during his childhood. Slowly he was attracted to the game and progressed quickly to represent India. Dear students, you will be aware of the fact that the National Sports Day was declared by our Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi in 2015 in the honor of the legendary hockey player Major Dhyan Chand. Since then, every year we celebrate it in our country with zest, zeal, and enthusiasm. You will be surprised to know that in the 1936 Olympics, Dhyan Chand displayed unbelievable skills with his hockey stick that a German newspaper carried a banner headline, "The Olympic complex now has a magic show too." The next day, posters were displayed all over Berlin which showed visit the hockey stadium to watch the Indian magician Dhyan Chand in action. There is also a legendary story saying that his skills were so good and godly that in one instance his opponents went on to physically check his hockey stick if there is a special glue which sticked the ball to his stick. He scored over 400 goals in his career from 1926 to 1948. After putting a stamp on international hockey arena and having served his country to reach its pinnacles of glory multiple times, Dhyan Chand passed away on 3rd December 1979. He remains a legendary figure in the Indian and world hockey. The most noted memorials for him is the Major Dhyan Chand Awards, the highest award for lifetime achievement in sports and games in India, and the National Sports Day celebration on his birthday is also a mark of respect to him. Friends, sports is a very important activity for students. It is one activity which can help us to develop multiple qualities like sense of togetherness, leadership skills, stamina, physical strength, planning and strategy, patriotism and teamwork. The qualities which help us to excel in life are the qualities of togetherness, leadership skills, patriotism, teamwork, etc. National Sports Day is not only a tribute to one of the greatest players in the game, it also reminds us the importance of sports in our life. During this corona pandemic, we have faced lockdown and we are captivated within the four walls of our houses. But there too we can utilize the time by playing indoor games. We can recreate ourselves. We can resort to yoga and meditation. We can play indoor games like chess, rope skipping, carom board, and many more other games are there. Dear students, during 2019 on the National Sports Day, our Honorable Prime Minister announced a program, Fit India program. This year we are doing Fit India Run program. We have to register ourselves on the website and we have to run and record as per our convenience and to send it on the website. In short, we can say that sports develops the whole personality of a child, of a student. So the sports is an integral part of school education, and those students who deprive themselves of sports their personality don't develop in all aspects. So on this sports day, this is my appeal to one and all to join this Fit India Run program and maintain your health by following all the guidelines of our country, guidelines of Ministry of Health, Government of India, by keeping social distancing, by wearing mask, by sanitizing the surrounding, by using sanitizers personally, and guiding the people who don't know the importance of all these things to know the importance of sanitization, to know the importance of cleanliness, and we have to teach each and everybody to keep safe, to keep healthy, and to keep fit and fine. Then only our country will progress ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Kendriya Vidyalaya Secretary.
Good morning to all of you. I, Maninder Singh, on the behalf of Kendriya Vidyalaya 39 GTC, welcome you all on the occasion of National Sports Day 2020 on the birth date of Major Dhyan Chand, the legend of hockey. Major Dhyan Chand. Talk about hockey in India, there will always be a mention of Dhyan Chand, the man who memorized everyone his silky stick work that saw him earn the nickname Hockey Wizard. Born on August 29, 1905, born on August 29, 1905 in Allahabad to Shraddha Singh and Shamsher Singh, a soldier in British Indian Army. Dhyan Singh was drawn towards hockey at a very early age. Like his father, he too enrolled himself in army at the age of 16 and continued to play his favorite sports there. This time in the force saw him play various army hockey competitions and regimental games between 1922 to 1926. Youngster would take to the game like fish to water and develop into a fine craftsman on his side. Dhyan would be engaged in the game that he would practice playing hockey during the night after his duty hours under the moonlight, a region that earned him the name Dhyan Chand. Chand means moon in Hindi. His progress through the ranks saw him make the Indian Army time for a tour to New Zealand in 1926. The Indian side was firing on all cylinders in New Zealand, where they won 18 matches, draw 2 and just lost a solitary tie during the tour. Their performance was launched by many, and Dhyan Chand in particular received a lot of praise for his shown on his first international assignment. On return, he was named a Lance Nayak in the Punjab regiment of the British Indian Army. He quietly performed in all respects, and his quality and performance did not go unnoticed for long, as Chand would soon make it to the Indian team for the 1928 Amsterdam Olympics. With the sports included in Olympic fold for the first time, the newly formed Indian Hockey Federation IHF was eager to send the best possible team for the game in the Netherlands. For there, the IHF called for an inter-provincial tournament to decide on the squad for the Olympics. 5 teams, Punjab, Bengal, Rajputana, United Province, UP, Central Province, participated in the inaugural nations, and with the army sides choosing to skip the competition, Dhyan Chand was allowed to turn up for UP. The magician ensured that he made the most of the opportunity to only make a case for himself in the Indian side, but also entertain the selectors and the spectators with his quality ball control and darting run that had the opposition defend in trouble time. And again, his splendid performance performance at the inter-provincial tournament as the centre forward and his partnership with George Martin, the inside right, meant Dhyan Chand was in Indians' first ever hockey squad for the Olympic Games. Though they had to face some financial troubles before reaching stardom, once in the Dutch city, the Indian team was in their groove as they made the competition their own with the same fantastic hockey. The coming up years would be Dhyan Chand legend grow manifold as the man from Allahabad took his game a notch higher and helped India defend their Olympic golds at 1932 Los Angeles Games. This time though the win was little more special as Dhyan had his brother Roop Singh along the team that took the gold in Los Angeles. While the previous two editions saw Dhyan leads the Indian team with his emphatic performance on the field. At the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, he was named the skipper of the side. The added responsibility only spurred him to greater exploits. The Indian team scored a total of 38 goals in the competition as they bagged another Olympic gold, conceding just once in the final. Returning from their triumph in Berlin, Chand joined his regiment and confirmed himself to army hockey. Though the sports in India continued to scale greater heights with the like of Balbir Singh Senior leading the charge as India went on an all-conquering era, Dhyan Chand's contribution remained unparalleled. Dhyan Chand retired from his army service in 1956 and was conferred the Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian award in India. The same year he would take up coaching soon and was later named the chief coach of National Institute of Sports NIS Patiala. He might not be with us anymore, but the legend of Dhyan Chand lives on in India. The nation celebrates its National Sports Day on his birthday, August 29, and he is the only hockey player to have a commemorative postage stamp and the first day cover in his honor. The National Stadium in New Delhi is also named after him, and the legend of Dhyan Chand continues to serve as inspiration to many hockey players. Now in detail I am discussing about his early career. On 29 August 1922, his 17th birthday, Chand enlisted in the 1st Brahmans of the British Indian Army as Sipahi. A recognition of the army that year results in the 1st Brahmans becomes the 1st Punjab Regiment. Between 1922 and 26, Chand exclusively played hockey tournaments and regimental games. Chand was ultimately selected for the Indian Army team, which was to tour New Zealand. The team won 18 matches, drew 2 and lost 1, receiving praise from all spectators. Following this, in the 2 test matches against New Zealand squad, the team won the first and narrowly lost the second. Returning to India, Chand was promoted to Lance Nayak in 1927. After successfully lobbying for introducing field hockey in the Olympics, the newly formed Indian Hockey Federation IHF made preparation to send the best possible team for the 1928 Stardom Olympics. In 1925, an inter-provincial tournament was held to select the team members. 5 teams participated in the inaugural nationals: United Province, UP, Punjab, Bengal, Rajputana and Central Province. Chand got permission from the army to play for the United Province team. In its first game the tournament, Dhyan Chand as the centre forward, the Martins their inside right, performed very well together. Chand attracted much attention by his clever stick work. His penetrating run and judicious passes seems to assure for him a position in the team that it is to take part in the Olympic Games. Early in the game, it becomes evident that the Chand was his best in the combination with Martin. He took the ball away to the right and Martin did well to give him a good pass. Quick as lightning, Dhyan Chand shot a goal. The goal stuck on the defender's stick and went into the net, giving goalkeeper Kohli no chance. A goal within 3 minutes of the start was more than what the most optimistic of the UP supporters could expect. At the interval, UP lead by 3 goals to nil. On their part, Rajputana put every ounce of their effort to score. The UP goal had more than one narrow escape, but were the winner of the final exhibition match 3-1. Buoyed by the success of tournament, it was decided that it would be held every 2 years. After 2 more trials matches between various hopeful, the Olympic team included Chand as centre forward was announced and assembled in Mumbai. Centre half Broom Eric Paniger was selected as the captain. ISF was initially low on his fund since the province of Bombay, Madras and Burma had turned a deaf ear to their financial appeal, but they managed to scrap enough money. The Olympic team played a match against Bombay 11 and amazingly lost 3-2, even though Singh scored both his team goals. With a quiet send-off, the team left for England on 10th March to play 11 matches against local sides as well in the England Folkestone Festival in 1927, winning all. It was also said that Great Britain did not send a team in 1928 to the Amsterdam Olympics after their national team was defeated by the Indian team at Folkestone. This is the best cited in Kapoor's book Romance of Hockey, where a dispatch of the H. Sutherland Stark, London representative of sports, a magazine of Lahore, tells the story better than any other comment. For reason it is difficult to understand, the English Hockey Association have taken up a very steep attitude towards Indian hockey in recent years and have repeatedly been twisted about it by even their own supporters. The editor of a leading sports newspaper described them to me as an intensely conservative body, but there seems to be something more than the conservative behind their unwillingness, apparently even to meet India in a full international encounter. Finally, on 24th April, the team arrived in Amsterdam to embark on a tour for a Low Country. In all the pre-Olympic matches against local Dutch, German and Belgian team, the Indian team won by large margins. In the 1928 Amsterdam Summer Olympic, the Indian team was put in the Division A table with Austria, Belgium, Denmark and Switzerland. On 17th May, the Indian national hockey team made its Olympic debut against Austria, winning 6-0 with the Chand scoring 3 goals. The next day, India defeated Belgium 9-0. However, Chand only scored once. On 20th May, Denmark lost to India 5-0 with Chand getting 3. 2 days later, he scored 4 goals when India defeated Switzerland 6-0 in the semi-finals. The final match took place on 26th May with India facing the home team of the Netherlands. The Indian team's better player Firoz Khan, Ali Shaukat and Khair Singh were on keep the competition. Dhyan Chand was allowed to turn up for UP. The magician ensured that he made the most of the opportunity to only make a case for himself in the Indian side, but also entertain the selectors and the spectators with his quality ball control and darting run that had the opposition defend in trouble time and again. His splendid performance at the Inter-Provincial Tournament as the centre forward and his partnership with George Martin, the inside right, meant Dhyan Chand was in Indians' first ever hockey squad for the Olympic Games. Though they had to face some financial troubles before reaching Amsterdam, once in the Dutch city, the Indian team was in the their groove as they made the competition their own with the same fantastic hockey. The coming up years would be Dhyan Chand legend grow manifold as the man from Allahabad took his game a notch higher and helped India defend their Olympic goals at 1932 Los Angeles Games. This time though the win was little more special, Dhyan had his brother Roop Singh along the team that took the gold in Los Angeles. While the previous two editions saw Dhyan leads the Indian team with his emphatic performance on the field. At the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, he was named the skipper of the side. The added responsibility only spurred him to greater exploits. The Indian team scored a total of 38 goals in the competition as they bagged another Olympic gold, coinciding just once in the final.
ऐसा नहीं कि आज ही खेल को बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है या खेला जा रहा है। प्राचीन काल से ही खेलों को महत्व दिया जा रहा है और आज उसी परंपरा में खेल की दिशा में हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और समाज को, राष्ट्र को, बच्चों को, सबको खेल का महत्व और इससे क्या लाभ मिलने वाला है, इसको हम राष्ट्रीय एकता दिवस के रूप में मनाकर सबको समझाना और बताना चाहते हैं। खेलकूद या शारीरिक शिक्षा हम कहते हैं, क्लास की जो हमारी शिक्षा है उससे कम शिक्षा खेलकूद की शिक्षा नहीं होती है। हम यह मानते हैं कि जो शिक्षा क्लास में या स्कूलों में ली गई है, अगर वह शिक्षा व्यक्ति नहीं ले पाता है किन्हीं कारणों से, तो उसे हम अशिक्षित मानते हैं। ऐसा नहीं है, आदमी खेलकूद के मैदान में भी शिक्षा ले सकता है। प्राचीन काल में गुरुकुल में जाकर आदमी शिक्षा लेता था, सर्वांगीण विकास होता था, क्योंकि वहाँ गुरुकुल में जाकर खेलकूद और शिक्षा दोनों ग्रहण करता था। इसलिए उस व्यक्ति को का सामाजिक विकास होता था। अगर हम खेलकूद में अच्छे हैं, आगे बढ़ते हैं, तो हम किसी भी कारखाने में, किसी ऑफिस में, किसी कार्यालय में अगर हम जाते हैं काम करने के लिए, तो अगर शारीरिक क्षमता हमारे अंदर है तो हम किसी भी कार्य को पूर्ण रूप से अच्छी तरीके से कर सकते हैं। जैसे कृष्ण ने गीता में कहा है, योगः कर्मसु कौशलम। किसी भी कार्य में अधिकतम कुशलता ही योग है। आज अभिभावकों के मन में यह धारणा है कि खेलकूद उतना आवश्यक नहीं है जितना आवश्यक क्लास की शिक्षा है, जिसके कारण बच्चों का शारीरिक, मानसिक, आध्यात्मिक और सामाजिक विकास नहीं हो पाता है। क्योंकि खेल के क्षेत्र में हम जाते हैं तो हम बच्चों के साथ हमारा संपर्क होता है और हर तरह की हम शिक्षा वहाँ प्राप्त करते हैं। बच्चों से हर तरह की बात करते हैं। गीता में श्री कृष्ण ने कहा है कि वर्तमान तथा भविष्य पर केवल शक्तिशाली लोगों का ही अधिकार है। शुद्ध आचरण शक्ति की ही देन है। शक्ति ही जीवन है और निर्बलता ही मृत्यु है। इसलिए शक्ति का संचय करने के लिए शारीरिक खेलकूद अति आवश्यक है।